limiting beliefs are those thoughts that we develop within our mind over our lives that limit us in some way. We sort of believe that we're not capable or we can't do something. Now, it might have been an innocent remark from a teacher or a childhood friend or a parent that just stuck. Or it can be those remarks, those consistent put downs and criticisms from a narcissistic individual within our lives. A parent, a narcissistic parent, a narcissistic partner, a narcissistic friend who constantly belittled you and criticised you and mocked you and devalued you to the point where you no longer thought that you were enough. Now, when you hear these things often enough, they can become internalised, and these beliefs can become deeply ingrained into our subconscious mind, and we have that sort of identity then that we can't do something, that we're not good enough, that no one will ever love us. I believe it was Henry Ford that said, if you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And with those negative beliefs, that negative identity, it kind of holds us back. Now, this is a belief system, a pattern of behaviour that's been developed over a prolonged period of time. So it takes time and effort and work to shift from that negative mindset into a more positive one. And there's a few steps that you can take to help you along the way. And one of the first of these is finding the evidence to the contrary. So if you believe you can't do something, look for the evidence that you can. Such as when you were little, when you were 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 months old, you couldn't walk at some point, and we all develop skills differently. Some children walk before they're 1, some children walk after they're 2. We all learn differently, so don't compare yourself to other people, only to who you were yesterday. But at some point, we couldn't walk, and then at some point we believed in ourselves, we learned, we stumbled, we fell, we hurt ourselves, we made mistakes, we got back up. Just like learning to ride a bike, some people pick it up a lot quicker than others. We fall off, we get back up, and we go again. So find evidence to the contrary. When you think you can't do something, find evidence to prove that you can, and don't compare yourself to other people. Support, find someone who is willing to tell you that you can, someone that's willing to be supportive of you, and also support yourself. Give yourself the self-compassion and the self-care. If you can think of someone that you really care for and how you would talk to them if they wanted something and you knew how desperately they wanted it and you wanted to see them succeed, talk to yourself in that manner also. Use mindfulness when you resort to that negative, I can't pattern, interrupt, stop yourself. Hang on a minute, I'm not talking to myself like that anymore. Let me find a different approach. Meditation, lots of self-awareness. Learn to reframe the language into more of I can, I'm learning, I'm trying, I've made a mistake, what can I learn from this? But find ways to shift those negative limiting beliefs into beliefs that give you a strong desire to push you forward. And remember, if it's a narcissistic individual that's planted those limiting beliefs in you, that's because they're envious of you and they do not want you to succeed. So if you're in that sort of revenge stage, use that to drive yourself forward, to prove to yourself that you can.